This is an example of sitting in silence. Gotcha, didn't I? Now, this is the topic that I really wanted to talk about sitting in silence. It's I've gotten a little question from you, the audience, from parents that asked me, why does my children like to go over into the corner and sit in silence, and not just in the corner, but also in their rooms, and why they prefer the silence and all that kind of good stuff too. Well, I'm here to tell you why that may be, and hopefully these little examples might be the case of why that happens. So, for starters, with when it comes to the world of autism, the world in itself can be extraordinarily chaotic. It can be noisy, so much stimulus, for not just the ears, but also the eyes, nose, taste, and touch, all the senses and all kind of thing too. It becomes way too much, and all they want to do is just stop what they're doing, and then kind of in a way recharge and to regain that sort of composure. It's I guess you can say too, and also to the point of saying that when you're ready, you'll be back into the world. But for now, I just want to be in my room in the quiet. I just want to sit in silence. And so this is one of the and so this is very important to know that this is one of the ways to recharge, to sort of regain of what goes on, all that kind of thing too. If you think of it this way, it's like is there really all silence in there too? What could a child with autism be doing in all the silence? Well, I always I always joke around by saying that whenever I'm not showing like emotions or showing expressions or anything like that too, I tend to play around by saying that it's calm and collective on the outside, but on the inside it's wild, crazy party on the inside. So it's kind of like in a way of self celebration on the inside. May not show it on the outside, but perhaps when people are to themselves of sitting in silence, they tend to let the brain mostly do all the work. What could they be thinking about? Could they be thinking about a movie that they saw, or a TV show, or a video game that they want to be a part of, or heck, maybe they're just playing with toys inside the brain, and maybe of course take it from me because I remember looking at toys and kind of imagine myself play with those specific toys. So that's what I kind of just imagined before receiving a toy. So yeah, kind of like these little what do they call it? These little what could happen moments, I guess you can say too. And that's also another reason for sitting in silence as well, because I remember there are people out there that would mention something on the lines of the quiet woman, and all that good stuff. And they mentioned too that people who tend to be very quiet, they're very calculating, they're very they are aware of just about everything that goes around them, and along with the calculations, they are most likely planning on what to do next, or what tomorrow would be. In fact, sitting in silence is kind of a way to sort of plan for themselves on what goes on for the next day. Because we have mentioned that routine is everything for people with autism. Break the routine, and things can be a little bit more difficult, a little bit tricky. That's how it becomes very chaotic. So, with sitting in silence, it's very important to note that that's perhaps they are trying to figure out what the future would be like tomorrow's going to be different. I hope I do this correctly, so I don't have a hard time learning all that kind of thing too. So So it's kind of like a carefully planning and coordinating and calculating, I guess you could say too, when it comes to science. Just trying to figure out what to do next on the present day and for the future. So when they do that, it's okay. It's okay. They got this. They can do it. And well, for parents, when it is an appropriate time, you can always ask your kids if they want to come in, or if you're don't want to bother them or anything like that too, because with practice with kids with autism, it's with practice, it's good to be flexible. When parents want to check up on you, then make it a goal, make it a practice run for all of you, to let them in, to let them care, I guess you could say too. So that's the challenge for you. Let them care, let them come in, and let them help you, let them talk to you, and don't ever worry about for them not getting it. So if you find yourself sitting in silence, then that's totally okay. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong at all. So so that's why I like to ask, when do you personally like to do it? And I don't think music would count, because otherwise that would break the silence kind of thing too. Of course, and everyone has their own music days, just sitting there and listening to their music with their headphones on or earbuds. But this is not the time for music at the moment. This is a time for silence, and so yeah, that's why I ask you now. Why do you like to sit in silence? What are some of the benefits that you find in sitting in silence? What have you learned when you tend to do that? There's even kind of a special fancy way of doing that, and that's through meditation, like yoga. It's very good for the mind and body. So perhaps you may be interested in something like that too. For someone that likes to sit in silence, maybe the next step would try meditation or exercises such as yoga. And so yeah, that's why in Autismworks we always celebrate those who try. Yeah, we are the triers, and triers and doers kind of thing too. So yeah, come along. We'll help you there, but it's also very important for you to make that next step too. After you sit in silence, what's next? So what's the next step for you too? If you feel like you're ready. If you feel like, of course, there is absolutely no rush for that kind of thing too. You can sit for as long as you can, maybe even hours. That's something I used to do quite a bit too. I literally made a big teepee, and then I kind of just sat in that place and kind of just enjoyed the nature sounds outdoors. So yeah, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that too. I've done, and I'm sure there are folks out there that have done that too. And the main important reason is that there's always going to be some kind of benefit when it comes to sitting in silence. There's always something going on up there, and we want to unlock its full potential. And sitting in silence is kind of a way to kind of getting it. So yeah, what's been on your mind? So, it's always good for communication. And like I said before on previous videos, and I'll say it once more, and for people who do have autism, it's the part where I say, don't be afraid of thinking that people may not get it or may not get you, because all you gotta do is just talk. It doesn't really matter if you think that makes no sense, or if you feel like they think that it doesn't make any sense. It's just simply being honest, whatever goes on in your mind, and also kind of just sharing what goes on whenever you sit in silence. Why do you do that? I know that there's benefits for this, but it's always important to communicate on why that is. And that is one of many ways to make autism much more workable. and that's what we're here for Autismworks. We just want to make it work and all that good stuff. So that is why so that's why I suggest when it comes to people sitting in silence is some of these things. So strategies for this, but we're simply just having some communication for that too. Don't feel like you have to rush, like you have to stop meditating and stay in silence for yourselves. Don't feel like you have to rush that. Just when you feel ready, when you feel like you're done, make it a goal, make it a challenge to talk about with your parents or your grandparents or your loved ones or maybe even your friends, and say, and it's all in the communication. It's all in the proper communication for these things, and that's just one way to make autism more workable. So I thank you very much for the person that gave me this question, and I'm so very happy to answer. So don't speaking of communication, don't hesitate. Just reach out for me, reach out for us, and so hopefully your question will make it in the next video. But don't worry, we'll keep you remain anonymous. It's just for privacy reasons. I'll comment too, but yeah, it'll be fun. So that's all for today. I'm Tyler McNamer of Autismworks, and it's time to get to work to make it work. Good night, everyone.